to this class is only as interesting as you guys make it. So keep it coming. Back and forth, man. And we're like jab, right cross, slip, right cross, uppercut, go for the knockout. That's how we do it.
I wanted to say, like, we were giving, you gave a little jab to Larry David, and I like Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen's not Jewish.
Oh, he's not?
No.
His mother's not Jewish?
I don't think his father's Jewish either.
Oh, okay. I thought he was a member of the tribe. Look at that. My question is, are we too quick to push these people away?
Well, the Torah is all about separation. Well, the word holy means to separate. And when he says kadoshim tiyu, it says be holy, i.e. separate as I am separate, to a certain extent. Not tivrosh min tibor, like separate within yourselves, but it's all about separating. I mean, I'm all for separating jerks from nice people, onions from my rice and beans. Like, I hate onions. It's all about separation. This whole thing that we should all unite on the basis that we have 2 arms and 2 legs. Where'd that come in? What the heck? If you're not a decent individual, I don't want you in my group. And I think God feels the same way. God's group are really personified by people who keep his instructions on how to be a nice person. And sometimes a not so nice person to evil people. Larry David, Woody Allen, Jerry Seinfeld, these guys don't profess to have a relationship or to be in a covenant with God. They ethnically identify with the people of Israel. Fine. I mean, you can ethnically identify with anything, right? If you live somewhere or amongst a group for a long enough time, you are ethnically part of that group. But that doesn't mean that you're religiously part of that group. We have religious standards apart from society's ethnic standards. So I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. I mean, these guys will tell you that they don't really keep Torah, care to keep Torah. I mean, does that make them bad people? According to the Torah, it does, right? And it depends what laws they're not keeping. I mean, does it make you a bad person because you don't keep the Sabbath? I don't think so. Does it make you a bad person if you go around murdering and raping? And yeah, absolutely. I separate people by ethical standards, not ceremonial ones. But I mean, I'm not going to do what the Boy Scouts did with women and just let everybody in, right? There is a separation here. If you want to be considered part of Israel in some covenant with God, you have to bite the bullet and keep commandments. Heck, there's a lot of things we could be doing on Saturday. We decide to distinguish ourselves by resting because we believe that God created the world in 6 days and rested on the 7th. I'm not throwing anyone under any bus. They didn't really place themselves under first. I watched Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm a fan.
If you want to, I mean, I can understand you saying something about Epstein that's in the news nowadays, or Bernie Madoff. I can understand those two bozo the clowns. That, you want to get that out of the covenant. Who are they to be a part of it, even though they're ethnically part of the covenant, whatever that means. But someone like Larry David, I mean, Bob Dylan goes to shul once in a while.
My friend is constantly at the Kotel in the Old City by helping unaffiliated Jews go to yeshiva. Rabbi Jeff Seidel, and he was there when he meets everybody there, but he was there when Bob Dylan was there for his grandson's bar mitzvah at the Kotel. It's a Semitic heritage gathering. It has nothing to do with God, right? I mean, it could to some people. I mean, only because I don't consider you a Jew doesn't mean I don't like you. It does mean that we don't share this in common. I mean, there are separations in life, and there's definitely separations in religion. And as inclusive as I am to many Christians, the vast majority of Christians I do consider idolaters. But the exception I made is for Christians who make an attempt to keep Torah fully and who identify with the covenant on Mount Sinai. But I'm not going to say every Christian, let's just consider Muslims, Jews of an Arabic persuasion. I'm not inclusive from that perspective. It's all about separation. I want to persecute evil people. I want to persecute child molesters and people who hurt other people. I mean, I'm not for loving everybody. Nor do I teach that God is a God of unconditional love, like some hysterical Jewish bubby or whatever.
Bubby. No, I get you. I hear you. I'm just saying, someone like Bob Dylan, for example, he probably would say, the way his faith is and the way he walks with God may be a little different than your way, but it's still fine. At least.
I'm not throwing him under the bus religiously. I'm just saying that according to the commandments that appear in the Torah, Bob Dylan himself, he'll probably say that this is outdated. It's not for now, and I'm not attacking him for it. It does cramp some people's style, and being Jewish is not for everybody. Now, it's hard for someone to understand that when they've been so mystified with notions of heaven and hell that it better be for you because you're going to burn in hell, if you don't accept it. But the Torah doesn't teach that. The Torah says that basically every command and every punishment is consequential. If you don't keep these commands, the punishment is bundled into the actual commands. Right? If you don't rest at least one day a week, you're going to suffer burnout. Now, if you don't want a part of this, like the vast majority of the world didn't, then you deal with your own consequences, like the characters in the Bible did before the Torah was given. From Genesis chapter 3 to Exodus chapter 20 is just an example on how man cannot reach great heights without divine instructions. That's it. Adam walked with God. Did he have Torah? Well, he had God whispering in his ear instructions. He severed that relationship, and that relationship was only remade when God decided to reveal his will to humanity from Exodus chapter 20 and on. Okay, so everything that happened in between is people trying to figure things out the hard way. Slightly progressing, but not progressing as fast as when we actually had the instructions in front of us. Heck, every Israelite's commanded to write a Sefer Torah in his lifetime, every king too.